Very exciting headlines.
Every single newspaper. You know what? Do you have Alan on your newspapers?
Wow.
You have Alan on your newspapers? Okay.
Common denominator.
Okay. All the papers have Alan stories. Okay, so let's start from here. Alan's third force agenda, farce or reality, on the front page of the Daily Graphic. What do you have?
And on the Ghanaian Times, we have Alan Cash resigns to contest 2024 election as independent candidate.
And I have here on the Chronicle, Alan dubs elephant for butterfly.
And on the Finder, Alan goes solo, promises jobs and hope for Ghanaians.
And then I have on the Anchor, Alan Cash divorces MPP, forms Movement for Change after 31 years of sacrifice for party.
And on the Daily Guide, Alan quits NPP again, flights solo with butterfly.
All right, so I'm going to go back to the Daily Graphic and just give you the rest of the headlines there. Front page of the Daily Graphic, we have economic growth to surpass IMF forecast, and that's come from the BOG. Heart diseases and stroke leading causes of death. Very, very serious things there, and then of course the WHO came out and said about 2.4 million Ghanaians are suffering with mental health challenges. That's a very, very high number, you know, and we need to do a lot more deliberate, concerted effort to make sure that we reverse the trend. Yeah,
and I think the fact that we're talking about it now more often, actually will help. Yeah. Because there was a time we really don't talk about it. You understand? And if somebody is suffering something that you can just help the person with, maybe by talking to the person or just taking to the person to see a therapist or a psychologist, we term it as a mad person.
Yes, and we shy away from it, and even shy away from talking about it, and at least now we can say that public discourse goes on about mental health issues, so that's a good start. Anyway, President urges the world leaders to prioritize prevention of non-communicable diseases, and addiction to betting by youth is worrying. Reverend Mante speaking.
All right, so on the Ghanaian Times, we have Interior Minister tax journalists to avoid hate speech. Protect indigenous businesses, Tanker Union Secretary. And fallout from NPP presidential primaries contest, Alan Cash resigns. 4 arrested in connection with killing of 9 passengers at Pusiga.
All right, I have the Chronicle, and it says here, Alan dumps elephant for butterfly. MPP is superior to any single individual. This is coming from founding members who are speaking. And BOG maintains policy rate at 30%. And we have the scripture on the front page of the Chronicle today. It says, Proverbs 29, verse 20. Do you see a man who's hasty in his words? There is more hope for a fool than for him. Wow. Wow.
Ambulance.
Scriptural shade. Yeah, biblical shade.
Wow. All right, so on the Daily Guide, we have NPP calls for calm over Alan's resignation. Causes project touches 3,170 Adentan lives. Alan quits MPP again. Flights solo with butterfly. Economic conditioning improving, and that's by the BOG. And 1,500 people displaced in Buipe flood.
Yeah, I don't know that story there.
Which one?
Buipe flood. I don't know if the Bagri Dam was open, right? You know that when they open the floodgates, it typically does that.
Yes.
Yeah, I think it was last week or a couple of weeks ago that they opened it. But yeah, we need to figure out something, about this whole thing. Then there'll be seasons where there's dryness in the north, and I don't get it. If we had a catchment area and we built a dam or something to hold the water when they spill, right? Then we can have water all year round. Yeah. All right. The Anchor newspaper has these headlines here. It says, Alan Cash divorces, in quote, MPP, forms Movement for Change after 31 years of sacrifices for party. 60-year-old woman shot dead despite recent passage of witchcraft law. Wow. So it means that they targeted her because she said she was a witch.
Yes, and they killed her. That was yesterday,
Man. So it's not even about taking her to a witch camp anymore. Now they're killing them.
Yeah.
About 2.4 million Ghanaians suffering from mental health sicknesses. WHO speaking then has a photo of Dr. Kasolo, who is the country rep. And manufacturers of Ghana Card educate public on Ghana Card e-passport features. Now this thing here, this e-passport features thing, I don't know. I mean, I have a Ghana Card, right? And when I arrived 2 or 3 times now, I have gone outside the country and come back since I got my Ghana Card. And I attempt to use the Ghana Card in terms of, there's a Ghana Card queue, right? But there's never anybody manning the queue. And the first time I came and I saw the queue, I saw that there was one person there. So I went there and said, oh, I have my Ghana cards. I'm going through this queue here. They said, no, there's nobody, it's not working. And I'm like, so I don't understand how this thing works. Because I've also heard, I think it was Vice President say that they gave a number, about 10,000 or something people who have successfully used their Ghana card as an e-passport or an e-visa. So I don't really understand. We need to get
how it works.
A clear understanding of what is really going on here. Yeah.
All right, so on the Finder we have NPP urges calm following Alan's resignation. BOG projects 3% growth for 2023. Causes Healthcare Initiative screens 3,170 in Adenta. 3 illegal miners get 60 years over mining in Dumfries Forest Reserve. And Alan goes solo, promises jobs and hope for Ghanaians. Sports betting in Ghana, an industry whose time has come.
All right, well, we have some online stories, citynewsroom.com. Accept Alan's resignation, he will never return to MPP. This is coming from Professor Jampo. He was speaking on the Point of View yesterday. And I find it interesting he makes that comment because in 2008, Alan resigned.
And came back.
And it was actually, and we'll discuss it in the news review segment, but there was actually a statement captured by the Daily Graphic back in 2008 that B.J. Darocha, who was a senior person in the party and was the chairman of the party at the time, said that Alan should not be, allowed to come back into the party. But they did, and now he's gone again.
Yes.
But Professor Jampo is sure he'll never return. I don't know about that.
Well,
I mean, they seem to, go come. Well, anyway, we'll see what happens this time around. BOG announces quarterly meetings to monitor regulatory issues in financial sector. We have Occupy Jolobi House demo. Organizers explain inspiration behind name selection. And they were also on the Point of View yesterday. Yeah. We have Central Region, alleged car snatcher beaten to death. And NCC is speaking here. There's absolutely no justification for arrest of #Occupy Jolobi House protesters. And so that's what we have for that. And then there's a few more things here.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay. Alan's resignation should be cause for concern for MPP. Eche Sekanko speaking. We also have Alan Chermanting has an unblemished character. This is coming from his campaign team. Okay, interesting. Timing of Alan's resignation wrong. Nyaho Tamaklo. You see, almost all the headlines are. It's
Alan.
Alan's corner on the citynewsroom.com. The Deputy Finance Minister, Abna Osayasari, distances herself from Alan's decision.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, she was part of the team at the point. 2024 polls, Alan will be forgotten during heated campaign period. This is coming from Paul Adumotri. Davis Ansa Opoku abandons Alan, sticks with MPP despite previous support. Alan is not a viable alternative to failed MPP government. This is Sami Jemfi speaking. And this is why Alan resigned from MPP to contest presidency as independent candidate. And we also have 2 more Alan stories. Alan is the visionary leader Ghana needs. And of course, that's his wife speaking, Patricia Chebate. And then we find out one here are Alan's 4 points movement for Change Agenda. 4 Points Movement for Change Agenda. All right, so that's it for the news review segment this morning. Very interesting. It's all about Alan Tremantin. Interestingly, it's like within the party structure, he seems to, the fact that every paper has carried a story, it's like it's big news.
Yeah, I feel like...
And then on CitiNewsroom.com, look at the number of stories that we have.
Well, I feel like because he's also an important person when it comes to the party, whether we like it or not. Whether some people think that, okay, he was never going to come back. It's a bit of a dent to the party at the end of the day.
Well, anyway, MPP should do what they want to do. It's up to them. We're going to take a break. And it's sports right now. All right, and talking about Alan, he has even showed up in the sports news this morning. But we'll start with the 2024 Women's AFCON. Ghana's Black Queens will face Rwanda in the second leg of the first round tie on Tuesday. The Queens lead 7-0 from the first leg that was played last week, and they will hope to seal qualification when they host the Rwandans at the Accra Sports Stadium. Should the Queens progress, they will face either Gambia or Namibia in the second round of the qualifiers. The ultimate aim of the Black Queens is to make it to the 2024 Women's AFCON, which will be held in Morocco. The next story, Alan Tremantin has pledged to oversee investment in the construction of world-class sports facilities in Ghana if elected as president in the 2024 general elections. Now, the former New Patriotic Party presidential hopeful announced his resignation from the party on Monday, declaring his intention to contest the 2024 polls as an independent candidate. Speaking on his 15-point transformational plan, GTP, Mr. Tremantin outlined his proposal of investing in world-class new generation sports facilities in selected competitive sports disciplines. He stated that his administration would encourage the participation of the private sector in the development of sports infrastructure around the country. This, he said, would include the establishment of sports academies. The state of the country's sporting infrastructure has become a major talking point in recent months, with many criticizing the lack of quality standard facilities and the poor maintenance of the ones that had already existed. And with that, we end sports for today.